You want to know some warning signs that your company's about to do mass layoffs? I've seen this happen over and over again the past few years. I'm going to need you to save this video and please repost it so we can get the most awareness as possible.
So it just came out that the Trump administration is preparing for mass layoffs and firings in mid-March of federal employees. And before you cheer that and say it's a good thing, consider this. We have federal employees in all 50 states. So when people in the tens of thousands get fired.
What's up, Financial Hawks? It's your boy Eric. And in today's video, we're going to be going over some more layoffs. Now, I've been primarily on the channel going over like tech layoffs and stuff like that. But tech is not the only place that we're getting a whole lot of layoffs, especially right now. Where right now we got a lot of the federal workers also getting laid off and making tons of videos on there. And I'll be going over a lot of different people who have been getting laid off this year, within like the last 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and start with this first video here, and I'll kind of just go over the video and kind of just give my thoughts as well during this. So let's go ahead and start out this first one here.
Second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again, twice in a year. And what the fuck? What is anyone supposed to do? And they said, because of the economy is crap right now. So we're going to lay off a whole bunch of people again. And I already was struggling so hard, actually low key, to even keep the current roof over my head. And now I have no idea how I'm even going to get through the next few hours. I just don't understand. But yeah, the economy is shit. America is shit right now. I feel like there's a really big plan for them to, tank this so that we have to rely on other things, other people. It's fucking shit. And I'm quite frankly tired of it. I'm tired of my livelihood being in other people's hands, and I have no idea how to fix that, but I'm going to, because this is just wild, and I'm fucking angry more than I am hurt or sad. I'm scared. I have no idea where any of my bills are gonna come from, the money. I'm more angry than anything because I just cannot even believe I used to be able to get a job like the week later if I got laid off. Or I was really hoping at one point I would make money on TikTok, and I still only have 1,500 followers or whatever. So if you could just blow this up and let's get 10,000 followers plus whatever, because I might be homeless in a week or two if I can't figure it out. So yeah, I hope everyone is having a great Tuesday, a way better Tuesday than me. And if you have any tips, tricks, or whatever to help right now and get me through this, greatly appreciated. Yeah.
All right. That was a lot right there. Yeah, fortunately, she did lose her job. I forgot if she said exactly what type of job she had. I don't think she was a federal worker. I don't think I typed in that to find this video. So I am intrigued on that. Or maybe I just missed it. But yeah, she got laid off again. It's the second time. However, she's in this time right now. As I've talked about this a lot, like it is hard to get a job. It's hard to find a job right now. It's like you can be applying, and you're just not going to get it. Most of the time, it's like you got to apply to like 100 to get like one potential person hitting you back up, let alone 100 plus to finally get an interview. So I totally understand you there. Now I do like that. She's angry in a sense that, now it's time to do some action. She probably thought she was never going to lose that job, but which is how things are going right now. I mean, even just right now, like dang near every job, you can still lose. Things can happen. That the company can merge to another company, XYZ, and you can lose your job. So if you're watching this right now, you're thinking you're super good right now. It's still good right now to still work on your resume. It's just tie that up, start making notes of some of the big accomplishments that you've been doing that have been helping out the company, note those down. And then, hey, you can put it on ChatGPT or, somewhere, like an AI service, for example, and use that to help craft that into your resume. If you're feeling like you really don't feel like writing, you can do something like that and kind of just update that there. And, just be out here, maybe freshen up your LinkedIn and, hey, start applying to jobs here and there. And again, if you have no intention of leaving, you still go on the interviews won't hurt. You'll just be able to get more knowledge, see how much people are actually getting paid now in that position. And you can kind of just stay up to date on maybe new technology that you may need in case you ever do get fired, or perhaps you may be interested in maybe switching after you've seen how much they're getting paid and how much maybe it's similar to what you're currently doing, but now you can work remote and you can get paid more, for example, with all your years of experience. So like there's multiple different ways you can do, certain things right there if you currently have a job. Now, I also like that she talked about already having like the social media. Now, she only had TikTok. She said she was hoping she would be big on TikTok. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes with social media. Now, I don't know how consistent she's been, but that could be a big thing there. But she at least attempted, so I'll give her that. However, in addition to TikTok, again, you should be platform agnostic. You should have, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, et cetera, and then pushing your content throughout all of those so that you have multiple ways to grow and multiple ways to make additional income. Now, being somebody who has videos everywhere, when I was first blowing up online on Instagram, for example, oh yeah, that one I really blew up a lot. And I get the same with YouTube as well. But like, I will post I will post like a reel, right? I'll post it on Instagram, and it would do okay. I post it on TikTok, it would do okay. But on YouTube, it would do like really good. And then on Facebook, it probably do okay. And I'll post something else, and then on Instagram, it'll do very well. But then on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok is not doing well. And then I'll post a third one, and on TikTok it does well, but it doesn't do well on the other one. So it's kind of tricky right there. So that's again one of the reasons I do say have multiple things, multiple platforms, because some content that works here or some content you thought would work on another platform doesn't, and it ends up working on the one that you don't think it will. It's just so weird. And then sometimes stuff blow up later on. So that kind of my 2 cents on the social media aspect of it. Another thing I guess you could do right now, since she's already laid off, again, making multiple social media accounts and whatnot, and then pushing your old content on those other platforms to see if they can blow up. Yeah, start looking for jobs. Start looking for jobs if you haven't already. Again, I'm talking to somebody like her who just lost their job. Go ahead and start working on that resume. Hey, use ChatGPT for help if you need some assistance. Go to LinkedIn, spruce that up, make sure that looks good. And yeah, really start applying. You can also go on Craigslist. You can look at like maybe short-term gig work in your local area. That can give you some extra money for that month, that 2 months while you're still applying and still grinding towards that full-time gig or full-time position. Again, if you end up, okay, let's say you find a gig or some gig work on Craigslist, for example, like Monday through Friday, you got to spend those weekends looking for jobs. You can't be spending those weekends just turning up, living your best life. And then, you're usually going to keep yourself in that cycle. So outside of work, start applying to jobs, a lot of them. And then on the weekends as well, if you have that, getting that gig work from Craigslist. I'm sure there's some other stuff too, other gig sites you can also use. Also too, if you have some type of online skill that you can help people out like digitally, I will look at Upwork and other sites like that. Like for myself, I can video edit pretty good. So I was able to use Upwork to make 6 figures through Upwork, like total amount. So you can make some good money on Upwork, video editing, and also doing other things digitally for people. And if you want like examples or whatnot, just go to Upwork and just start typing in like random searches and see if people are looking for people for that. You may be surprised. But yeah, that's kind of some of the things I would do right now if I just got laid off and I'm in her current position on how I'm going to pay for XYZ for this month, or I'm going to be homeless. Now, let's go ahead and play this next video here. She's talking about layoffs have finally hit our house. So dang. Okay, let's see what she's talking about.
Their household, but they did. My husband's job, he works in production for a company, and they originally had 4 people working in this department. 3 were there, as their main job title, but the 4th person acted as a floater. They worked in a different department, but could help out because they have the skills that the 3 in the department have. So they let go of the 3rd person, the 3rd permanent person, and they let go of the floater. My hubby was already working hard, but now him and the guy who's left, they're having to do the work of 3 people. Business has been picking up. My husband's been working harder, longer hours, like volume has increased. And of course, that's affecting him mentally and physically. It's also affecting me mentally too, because I don't like seeing him burdened with all this work. And he's not the kind of guy to be like, fuck that job, I'm not going to go in. He really prides himself on being a good employee because he has a reputation that he wants to uphold. So he's been looking for other jobs, but it's a tough climate right now. And I don't want him to burn out And I just need to figure out how to best support him. But it's just really tough when you have to take on the weight of the world. And now, especially in that department now, if someone gets sick or calls in, all of that work falls onto one person's shoulders. My hubby has a vacation coming up in April. And of course, he's going to take it. But I know deep down he feels bad about having to leave. I told him it's not your problem. It's the boss's problem. It's the owner's problem. They have to get somebody to replace, I guess, the other people. But like, if you let them go, but you still needed them, like, are you really cutting costs? I don't know. It's just really tough. Like, I'm thankful that he wasn't laid off, but even though he wasn't directly laid off, he's still feeling the effects of layoffs in his department. And I'm just hoping things get better for him and for us.
Okay, okay. I like that video a lot. First off, congrats on the husband for, still sticking with the job, just not just like giving up. A lot of people just, oh, too much work. Let me just give up right now. It's like, no, I still got household stuff to actually pay for. I still got to make sure my wife is good. I make sure they got kids, make sure they're good, make sure the household good. So I do commend him first out for that. That's really good, especially nowadays. It's crazy. I got to commend people for that, but just how people are now is like this is so quick to just give up. So congratulations on not giving up and sticking with this. Also good that you're already looking at other jobs. That's really important. I'm assuming that he probably been updating his resume or having his wife update his resume. So like those are already like good stuff right there. So I would definitely whatever you're doing, just keep that up. Yeah, like especially on the weekends, you might not, he might be super tired like Monday through Friday, but during the weekends, you really got to tap in on those applying to jobs, applying to jobs, applying to jobs, applying to jobs, applying to jobs. If you're not getting any right now, a lot of times it's just like a numbers game. And like those, just the more that you're putting out there, the higher chance that you can at least get some type of call back. And again, I don't know how that resume looks, but this can also be big. Your resume could suck. It could be garbage. So if I was her and you're watching me, or the husband is somehow watching me, I would check out some of my resume videos on this channel, or just go to like good resumes and kind of take a look at those. And kind of try to follow those. You can look at Josh Matacore resume, for example. His resume that he's going to give an example of is more towards, well, not necessarily more towards a tech center. He has tech stuff on there, but you can apply that same resume to other fields. My sister showed her that, and she used that same format, and I was able to help her out with that. And actually, I'm gonna have to do a video talking about that, and she was able to get a job. She applied to a lot of jobs, a good amount, but using that resume template, she was able to get a job, like get a new job. So if you're looking at this video on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, just go to Josh Matacore resume, search that up, and take a look at that resume and copy that resume. He should have an example in like the description box that you guys can click on. Use that, and that can help out a lot. That and just applying to a lot of different jobs, getting the numbers there with a good resume, you can get that other job. And yeah, with him having to do 3 people's work and not getting any type of bonus or any type of raise, yeah, this is a great time to go ahead and start grinding so you can get to that next phase. Now, it would be different too, though, if you had like a whole lot of money on the side and be like, hey, I can't leave this. This is the boss's fault. But he's not in that position. Most people aren't in that position. So you got to just deal with the cards that you currently have. I also like the wife. She does care about her husband. That's always good there. Maybe she can, I don't know, maybe there's some online stuff that she may be interested in as well that can help out. She's already making content for Twitter or TikTok. So that's something, again, being platform agnostic, start posting these on YouTube, Instagram, etc. That could be something too. But yeah, it is wild out here. It's definitely wild out here. A lot of people are really going through it right now, especially with like situations like this where it's so much work, but the boss is laying people off still. It's like it's gonna like as soon as that husband leaves and maybe another employee leaves, yeah, the boss is gonna be really in a messed up position that he put himself in. That he really put himself in. So I'm definitely intrigued to see like the saga of this. Hopefully I can watch more videos. Maybe come back like on a part 2, part 3, part 4, maybe next month, and we kind of take a look at this. But next up, guys, let's go ahead and play this next one here. Let's see what he's talking about. How to tell your company preparing for mass layoffs. Okay, I'm definitely intrigued.
That your company's about to do mass layoffs. I've seen this happen over and over again the past few years. I'm going to need you to save this video. Please repost it so we can get the most awareness as possible. The first thing you notice is they start cutting off all the contract workers. Anyone who is a contract worker do not get renewal on their contracts. This is almost like a quiet layoff. They're contractors. They don't even work at the company. The second thing that you start to see is a return to office, either hybrid or in the office 5 days a week. Either way, it means that anybody who is outside of the local area will be forced to quit or make the decision to relocate their family for the job. So, again, this is like quiet layoffs. And the third thing that you start to notice is managers start to micromanage more and track performance. You might also notice that more and more people are going on PIPs or performance improvement plans. I've seen it time after time that once these three things happen, companies have done pretty much all the quiet layoffs they can do, and then they start to do the real thing. They start to do mass layoffs. So if you know someone who's at a big company, share this video with them today.
Okay, interesting. I guess I mean I'm fortunate enough never to have been in something like this, but yeah, that's good to know. So maybe my current job or future jobs is something that I should be aware of. This is something that you guys could definitely be aware of. I do like that he breaks down the first, I mean not the first step, but the all three steps. And I guess you know what that actually makes sense. Like I can see companies, like I can see the logic behind this for the companies. Starting out with everybody, return to the office, being hybrid and whatnot, and then just slowly getting down to just the core people or the medium people, and then removing the medium people so that you just get in the core people. So if you are forced to like go back into the office, yeah, I think that is a great time for you to go ahead and start looking for other jobs. You may not get fired, but hey, it could be coming soon. So, that could give you that buffer, that 1 month, 2 month, 3 month buffer to get to that next point. And yeah, if you're already getting on a performance, review and all that, yeah, you really want to be on that lookout. I've been seeing videos talking about people who have been on these performance reviews and like they didn't realize, I guess, that they were close to getting fired. And then they were surprised when they got fired. So I don't want you guys to be surprised when you guys get fired. Yeah, if you already like they already went through all the first and second step, you on that third step, somehow you made it that far. And but micromanaging you and you in the performance review, yeah. It may be that time to start looking for other jobs. But hey, let me know in the comments. Have you guys ever been in that type of situation? In okay, let's say you got mentioned, you were on the performance review and you still made it. I'm definitely intrigued to see your thought. Like, what did you do? Did you start working 10 times harder? Or is this his luck you feel like? I'm definitely intrigued to hear you guys' thoughts on that. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about this. Trump admin preparing mass layoffs in March. Oh, snap. Let's see what we're going to be talking about.
Is preparing for mass layoffs and firings in mid-March of federal employees. This is on top of the people that they've already fired that were in their probationary period, because frankly, from a legal perspective, it's the only people they could get rid of on the short term, which is already in the thousands. And it sounds like we're talking about tens of thousands of federal employees that are about to be terminated. And before you cheer that and say it's a good thing, consider this. We have federal employees in all 50 states. So when people in the tens of thousands get fired, that means all of those people are all of a sudden going to lose their income, which means they're not going to restaurants, they're not buying things, they're not shopping, they're not putting money in the economy. On top of that, it's going to make it harder to get things out of the federal government that we rely on all the time. It's going to be slower to get your tax filing come April. It's going to be harder to get somebody on the phone to answer questions about Social Security, Medicare, which is already a nightmare. It's going to get worse. And what is the federal government, the Trump administration, going to do with these savings? They're not going to be giving it to you. They are doing this so that their tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires don't blow up the deficit. But the problem is the tax bill is $4.5 trillion. So even with these savings, it's going to explode the deficit. So the Trump plan is to kill local economies by firing thousands of federal employees and then passing a tax cut that millionaires and billionaires will get, and you will get nothing. So we will have a worse economy and a government that is less able to help us out. This is going to be a disaster.
Okay. Like he did go over a lot, but yeah, that is actually a good point. I didn't think about it being, all the different states and whatnot, and losing a job, but also not being able to buy things within those different areas that they're in. So yeah, the income in other areas, like they won't be able to get as much revenue. Like for example, that town may not, may have a person who may not be able to buy from their store, for example, maybe their local store or maybe a chain restaurant or XYZ. So yeah, I think that is a valid point there. I actually, when he was talking, I also brought up this. I'm like, what are some like federal job examples? So kind of get an idea like of some of them. because online you hear a lot of people saying that a lot of these people aren't doing work. And I'm not gonna lie, probably some of these people may not, but some people are as well. Like they got police officers considered federal job that they're not losing their job. Firefighters, economists, social workers. Okay, yeah, I think the most people that we're probably seeing online are probably the social workers. I haven't really heard anything about mail carriers losing their jobs. Not librarians either, even though I guess nowadays they probably don't do as much work, considering that most people probably don't go to the library at all. But yeah, I kind of just want to show you guys this as well. Firefighter, administrative assistant, correctional officer, interesting. IT technician. Okay. So yeah, there's some federal jobs with that. Interesting. But yeah, if you are in the federal, I guess, sphere right now, I would definitely be, ready to have another job, like in terms of working on your resume, getting that, all good, your LinkedIn, everything, kind of just be ready and prepared for a potential firing. However, yeah, I actually can't think of no however. Yeah, I would really be on the lookout for that. Now, if you're like on a mission critical, like I guess maybe type of job, maybe you may be working for like, let's say maybe some type of military things of that nature or something like along those lines, then yeah, I think you're safer. I was watching some videos from Simone Bees, and she was kind of talking about that, how some of the people who were underneath her, like in terms of like classes or getting help from her, they were still getting jobs and still get some high paying jobs right now in the federal sphere. But those jobs are more like mission critical and more like very like something that you really can't just get fired on because if we get attacked, we need these mission critical things going on. So if you are in that sphere, I will look at jobs along those lines. That would be something I would definitely look forward to, or look into. And if not, you can go to the public sector and yeah, compete against everybody else. I have been seeing some of the resumes, some of these federal workers, and they have been impressive. They've been very impressive. So you will probably have like a leg up on a lot of people, if you have been grinding and doing work and you got that resume, got that, good resume of you working XYZ and all this different stuff you've been doing, you should be good. But again, I mean, everybody's applying to like a lot of different jobs right now. So don't just think like, oh, I'm gonna just apply to 5 and I'm gonna be good. Maybe 100, you might get one interview, but shoot, you could be, like everybody else applying to 100 plus. So yeah, everybody get wild out here. It's definitely about to get wild out here. And then lastly, let's go ahead and look at this video talking about the life after Amazon's layoff. Let's see what TC go get.
Like 3.5 months now. Who gonna have on me with these 6 kids now? Who helping me pay the bills now? Please let me know. Baby, y'all drop me like some hotcakes. I don't know who's worse. Y'all are my baby daddy. Come on now, no sign, no nothing. Thinking everything going smooth, everything going good, then boom. What y'all think? Yeah, we cannot be mad at Amazon because when we fill our application out, it tells us we're seasonal employees and they can keep us up to 11 months unless they convert us over into a blue badge. So, baby, we cannot be mad. I'm not mad. I'm just waiting. So, come and spend the day with me because they got me big. But yeah, I'm here in my storage. About to go from having 2 storages to only one because I'm tired of paying all this money. And this ain't got nothing to do with me at all. This has got everything to do with why I pay all this money if I ain't got to.
Okay. I didn't really get too much information from that video. I was hoping she was gonna be showing more of like, I guess, what was going on with Amazon, but it looks like everybody's again getting mass layoff all in different places. So yeah, I remember trying to apply for an Amazon like seasonal job, and I already knew it was a seasonal job from the jump. I didn't come into it thinking I'm gonna be working here forever and like they never go, lay me off. But I didn't even get that, and it was my fault too because they were looking for somebody like a little bit more long term. I was kind of just doing it for the summer in between college. And I messed up and let her know that, yeah, it's going to just be for like a month, like a month and a half and before I go back to school. And yeah, she was happy that, I was going to school and whatnot. But yeah, after I told her that, I could already tell that, yeah, I wasn't going to get it. And yeah, I was correct. So yeah, if you were looking for, seasonal jobs right now, I mean, you can get laid off. It's already March right now and not December. During the summertime, you'll be good probably like the month before because they really need people. Matter of that, yeah, I would look into again if you need some fast money, look into a Craigslist or something like that. Look at some type of gig work like on Upwork or a site like that. Maybe Fiverr, can get some extra money there. Hey, there are other warehouse jobs as well that you can look into. Now the pay in your body is going to still be there. But that's something that you can do to make some money, get some income coming in. Look at like some staffing agencies as well. And thirdly, that's something I definitely recommend for everybody, putting in the time and effort to get some type of tech job. You can spend a good amount of time like trying to get like all these certifications and whatnot to get like the cyber and other fields. However, you can look at YouTube videos for free and learn more about help desk things and get yourself a help desk job. You can start out making 50, 60,000 at a help desk, and possibly remote, and being able to just learn more about different tech things at a lower level, which can then help you even within that company grow to other positions and start making more money. So, there's kind of still some different options there as well. But if you guys have ever worked for Amazon, or if you're currently working for Amazon, how is it right now? I'm definitely intrigued. How was it when you were working there? And was it like kind of during the layoff phase, or was it like years ago back before all this kind of got big and everybody getting laid off? Definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts right there. But yeah, I really thought she would give me some more information right there. But look, she's a blue badge, so like, she's good to go. But anyway, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.